subscribe to my YouTube channel, share it with your friends, and comment your thoughts. The phone buzzed once. Then again, the third time it was a video, her husband, kissing someone else in the hospital where their baby just died. Maya's hand trembled. The small, cold room blurred around her as the video played on loop, the cruel betrayal hitting deeper than the grief that had already broken her. The stark white hospital walls behind him mocked her. The place they had hoped would be their sanctuary of healing was now a shrine to heartbreak and lies. She was standing by the window, the late afternoon sun cutting through the blinds in harsh stripes across the floor, when the door creaked open. Maya didn't turn. She barely heard the soft footsteps behind her. "Are you going to say something?" a voice whispered, low and uncertain. She finally looked up. It was Lisa, the cleaning lady, quiet, unassuming, usually invisible. But today there was something different in her eyes, something fierce, almost protective. Lisa stepped inside and closed the door behind her softly. "I'm sorry you had to see that," she said. "I didn't want you to find out like this." Maya's throat tightened. "How do you know about this?" Lisa's lips pressed into a thin line. "Because I've been watching, and I'm done being silent." Maya blinked, confused but oddly drawn to the woman who had always been so overlooked. The cleaning lady? She'd never expected to find an ally here, or a storm. "What do you mean?" Maya's voice cracked. Lisa took a slow breath. "There's more to this story than you know, and I can help you, but you have to trust me." Maya's world had just shattered. Again. But for the first time since the loss, a spark of something new flickered inside her. Hope. The hospital was a maze of antiseptic corridors and muffled voices, but Maya felt utterly alone in it. She clutched her phone tightly, the video still fresh in her mind, when Lisa appeared beside her, as if summoned by the grief itself. Lisa had worked here for years, invisible to most staff and patients. She cleaned floors, emptied trash bins, and went unnoticed, a shadow in scrubs. But Maya sensed she was anything but ordinary. "You don't have to face this alone," Lisa said quietly. "I've seen things, heard things, things people thought I couldn't." Maya wanted to scream at the injustice, the betrayal. Her husband, the man she had trusted with everything, was a liar, and now she was trapped in a nightmare she couldn't wake from. "How do I even begin to fix this?" Maya whispered. Lisa's eyes were steady. "By knowing the truth. And that's exactly what I'm going to help you find." The days that followed were a blur of whispered conversations and secret meetings. Maya discovered Lisa wasn't just a cleaning lady. She was a keeper of secrets, a silent witness to betrayals, lies, and cover-ups within the hospital's polished walls. Lisa showed Maya messages, photos, and recordings she'd collected over the months. Evidence that her husband wasn't the only one hiding dark truths. "There's a network," Lisa said, voice heavy with anger. "People who think they're untouchable, but they're not." Maya's heart raced with a dangerous mixture of fear and determination. She wasn't just a grieving wife anymore. She was someone fighting to take back her life and to expose the corruption that had nearly destroyed her. But with every step closer to the truth, the stakes grew higher. 1. Evening, Maya received an anonymous text. "Stop digging or you'll regret it." Her hands shook as she showed Lisa. "We knew this would happen," Lisa said calmly, "but they underestimated you." Maya swallowed hard. The danger was real, but so was her need for justice. "Whatever it takes," Maya said, eyes blazing. Lisa nodded. "Good, because this is just the beginning." That night, Maya lay awake, the weight of betrayal heavy on her chest. She thought of her lost baby, the hollow silence of her home, and the man who had shattered her trust. But she also thought of Lisa, the quiet force who had stepped out of the shadows to stand beside her. Tomorrow, Maya knew, she would begin. A battle that could either destroy her or set her free, and whatever happened next, nothing would ever be the same again. Midnight meeting. Maya stared at the message on her phone, the glow of the screen cutting through the darkness of her bedroom. Meet me where it all began. Midnight. Come alone. The words echoed in her, mind like a warning or a promise. Her heart pounded. Where had it all begun? The hospital? The day their baby died? Or something deeper, something buried beneath the surface she hadn't yet dared to uncover? Lisa sat silently across from her, the faint light from the bedside lamp casting shadows on her face. You have to go, Lisa said firmly, her voice steady but serious. This might be your only chance to find the truth. Maya nodded slowly, fear and resolve mixing inside her. She wasn't sure if she was walking toward danger or salvation, maybe both. The clock hands inched toward midnight. Outside, the city slept under a blanket of fog and silence. Maya's breath came out in shaky clouds as she slipped into her coat and stepped into the chill night. She arrived at the old park where she and her husband had first met years ago. The place where their story had begun, full of hope and promise, now soaked in heartbreak and betrayal. A figure stood beneath the ancient oak tree, barely visible in the moonlight. As Maya approached, a rush of cold fear washed over her. "Who are you?" she whispered. The figure stepped forward, revealing a face she recognized instantly. Jonah, her husband's closest friend. Jonah's eyes were dark and tired. "You shouldn't trust him," he said quietly. "He's not who you think he is." Maya's chest tightened. "What do you mean?" Jonah glanced around nervously. "There's more going on than just your husband's affair. You're in danger. They've been covering things up, things that could ruin all of us." Maya felt the ground shift beneath her. "Who is they?" Jonah hesitated. "Powerful people, people who will do anything to keep their secrets safe, and they've already started watching you." Before Maya could ask more, a shadow moved. At the edge of the park, Jonah's eyes snapped to the figure. "Go, now," he urged, grabbing her arm. "Don't look back." Maya ran, her heart hammering as footsteps echoed behind her. She dared not glance back until she reached the safety of her apartment. Lisa was waiting when she arrived, concern etched on her face. "What happened?" Maya struggled to catch her breath. "He warned me, said I'm being watched." Lisa nodded grimly. "This is bigger than we thought." They spent hours piecing together the new clues Jonah had shared. Patterns emerged. Strange hospital incidents, unexplained disappearances, and a web of lies tied to Maya's husband's company. Maya felt herself slipping between anger and despair. She had lost so much already. How much more could she endure? Days passed with tension mounting. Maya found herself questioning everyone, friends, family, even Lisa. Paranoia crept in like a shadow she couldn't shake. One night, she received another message: "Trust no one. They are closer than you think." The warning was clear, but from whom? Maya's phone buzzed again, this time with a photo. A blurry image of Lisa standing outside her apartment late at night. Her breath caught. Could she trust the woman who had become her only ally? Determined to find answers, Maya confronted Lisa the next day. "Why are they watching me? And why is my name tied to all this?" Maya demanded. Lisa's eyes flickered with pain. "Because you're the key. They've been waiting for you to discover the truth, but they don't want you to survive it." Maya's voice shook. "What truth?" Lisa took a deep breath. There was a cover-up, a tragedy hidden beneath the hospital's shiny surface. "Your husband, he was part of it." Maya's world spun. The man she loved wasn't just unfaithful, he was dangerous. As the days blurred, Maya's resolve hardened. She began gathering evidence, sneaking into places she never imagined entering, risking everything for justice. But with every secret uncovered, the threats grew more violent. One evening, Maya returned home to find her apartment ransacked. Drawers pulled out, papers scattered, a message left on her kitchen table. Stop now or suffer the consequences. Tears blurred her vision, but anger surged through her veins. They think they can scare me, she whispered. They're wrong. That night, Lisa revealed her own secret. She had lost a family member to the hospital's dark past, a victim of the same lies Maya was fighting against. Together, they formed a fragile alliance, bound by pain and a shared thirst for truth. The husband's death. Maya stared at her phone, the chilling words still echoing in her mind. Your husband is dead, but the nightmare has only just begun. The line went dead, leaving her in a suffocating silence. 1,000 thoughts raced through her head, none of them making sense. Was this a cruel trick? Or was her world about to collapse completely? The truth came crashing down the next morning when the news broke. Jonah's friend, her husband Aaron, had been found dead in his office. The official story said it was a heart attack, but Maya knew better. She felt hollow, broken in ways words couldn't capture, but beneath the grief was something else, a growing fire of suspicion and rage. At Aaron's funeral, Maya barely recognized the faces around her, friends who whispered behind her back, colleagues who avoided her eyes, even family members who seemed distant, lost in their own pain. Lisa stood beside her, silent and steady, the one anchor in a storm of chaos. As the crowd thinned, Maya confronted Jonah. Did you know? Did you suspect this was coming? Jonah's face was grim. I warned you. Aaron was tangled in something dangerous. There are people who don't want us asking questions. Who? Maya demanded. Who killed him? Jonah hesitated. I don't know, but I'm working on finding out. The investigation quickly turned into a nightmare. Police were dismissive, labeling Aaron's death as natural. Maya felt the walls closing in. The same people who covered up the hospital's secrets were now burying her husband's death. Determined, Maya and Lisa dove deeper. They uncovered encrypted emails, secret meetings, and strange financial transactions, linking Aaron's company to unknown entities. With each new piece, the picture grew darker. Aaron's affair was a small part of a massive web of corruption involving hospital executives, corporate greed, and criminal cover-ups. One night, while sifting through documents, Maya discovered a hidden folder on Aaron's laptop. Inside were files revealing experimental treatments conducted without consent, patients harmed, and data manipulated to hide the truth. Her stomach churned. The hospital's pristine image was a lie, and Aaron was at the heart of it. Either as a perpetrator or a pawn. Maya's phone buzzed again, breaking her from the spiral of despair. It was a message from an unknown number. Stop digging, or your life will end like his. The threat was clear, but Maya's resolve hardened. The next day, Maya's apartment was broken into again, this time more violent. Her laptop was stolen, and Lisa narrowly escaped an attack while returning from work. Fear was no longer an option. They had to fight back, but alone, they were vulnerable. They reached out to an investigative journalist, Samuel, known for exposing corporate scandals. At first skeptical, Samuel quickly realized the story's gravity after reviewing the evidence. People will try to silence you, Samuel warned, but the truth needs to come out. Together, they planned to leak the files and expose the hospital's dark secrets. But as the day of the planned leak approached, Maya's world shattered again. She found a note slipped under her door. You're not safe. Trust no one. Maya's eyes burned with tears and fury. The enemy was closing in, and the line between friend and foe blurred. That night, Maya woke to a noise, a shadow moving inside her home. She reached for the baseball bat by her bed, heart pounding. A figure lunged at her. She swung blindly, hitting hard. The attacker collapsed, revealing a familiar face. Jonah. Why? Maya whispered, disbelief shaking her voice. Jonah smiled coldly. It's not what you think. I'm trying to protect you. By attacking me? She spat. He shook his head. There are forces bigger than us. They're watching, waiting. I was ordered to keep you quiet. Maya felt the world tilt again. Her closest ally was a double agent. In the chaos, Lisa burst in, shouting Maya's name. Run! The three of them fled into the night, chased by shadows and secrets that threatened to consume them all. The last chance. The warehouse smelled of dust and rust, cold shadows swallowing the light from their flickering phone screens. Maya's pulse raced as she stared at the message glowing in front of her. Meet me. Last chance to stop this before it's too late. She looked between Jonah and Lisa. Two fractured allies, both carrying their own secrets. Who do you think it is? Lisa asked, voice low. Jonah's eyes were hard. Could be someone trying to help or someone trying to trap us. Maya swallowed hard. We don't have a choice. We have to go. The city felt like a ghost town at this late hour. The streets empty, except for the occasional flicker of streetlights. Maya's mind spun. Was she walking towards salvation or a deadly trap? The location was an abandoned cafe on the edge of town, a place where no one would expect to meet, the kind of place where whispers traveled and secrets were exchanged in the shadows. As Maya approached, a figure stepped from the darkness. You came, the voice said, calm, controlled. It was a woman, mid-30s, sharp eyes that didn't miss a thing. Who are you? Maya demanded. Call me Evelyn, the woman replied. I'm here to help you expose the truth. Evelyn handed Maya a thick envelope filled with documents, photos and recordings, proof that the hospital's corruption went far beyond what Maya had imagined. Names of executives, illicit deals, manipulated studies, all hidden behind layers of lies. This is everything you need, Evelyn said. But it won't be easy. They have eyes everywhere. Maya glanced at Jonah, who nodded subtly. Lisa broke the silence. Why should we trust you? Evelyn's gaze hardened. Because I lost someone too, and I want justice. Days turned into nights filled with frantic planning. Maya, Lisa, Jonah, and Evelyn worked in a fragile alliance, piecing together a plan to bring the truth into the light. But trust was fragile. Jonah's betrayal lingered like a shadow, and Maya couldn't shake the feeling that danger lurked closer than ever. One evening, Maya found Jonah alone, staring at the city skyline. Why did you lie to me? She asked quietly. Jonah's voice was raw. Because I was scared. I thought if I told you everything, it would put you in more danger. Maya shook her head. We don't have time for secrets. He sighed. I'm sorry. The plan was set. Leak the evidence during the hospital's annual gala, where powerful people would be forced to face their crimes. But as the night approached, tensions soared. Maya received another anonymous message. Tonight, everything ends. Her hands trembled. Was it a threat or a promise? The gala glittered with opulence, a stark contrast to the darkness beneath the surface. Maya slipped in unnoticed, her heart pounding beneath the elegant dress. She had a flash drive loaded with the damning evidence, ready to broadcast to the media. Jonah and Lisa moved beside her, their eyes scanning the crowd for threats. Evelyn was on the outside, coordinating the leak. As Maya prepared to upload the files, a hand grabbed her wrist. Stop! A voice hissed in her ear. She spun around, heart hammering, to find Aaron's sister, Rachel. You don't know what you're doing, Rachel said, eyes desperate. If this goes public, it will destroy more than just the hospital. Maya's confusion deepened. What do you mean? Rachel looked around nervously. There are things you don't understand. People who will be hurt. Innocent people. Maya faced a terrible choice. Expose the truth and risk chaos, or protect lives by keeping the secret. Her hands shook as she looked at the flash drive. Jonah whispered, "What now?" Before Maya could answer, the lights flickered and went out. Stunned silence fell over the gala. Then a cold voice crackled over the speakers. "Ladies and gentlemen, the truth is a dangerous thing. Tonight, you will see why." Suddenly, the screens around the room lit up, playing the hospital's darkest. Secrets for all to see. Gasps and murmurs filled the air. Powerful figures exchanged angry looks. Maya realized the leak had already begun, but not by her. The choice Maya's heart hammered in her chest as she stared at the message blinking on her phone. "You were never meant to control the truth. Now you must choose, disappear or be destroyed." Her fingers trembled. The choice felt like a noose tightening around her neck. One wrong move and everything would come crashing down. Around her, the gala descended into chaos. Powerful executives shouted, accusations flew, and security scrambled to regain control. Maya, they felt trapped, like a mouse surrounded by hungry cats. Lisa squeezed her arm. "We need to get out of here, now." Jonah nodded, already scanning for an escape route. Maya swallowed her fear and followed them through a maze of corridors, the echoes of outrage chasing them. Once outside, the cold night air hit her like a slap. She gasped for breath, trying to steady her racing mind. Evelyn was waiting by the getaway car, urgency written on her face. "We have what we need," Evelyn said. "But they're coming for you, fast." Maya's mind reeled. How much longer could she keep running? How much more could she lose? They sped through empty streets, the city lights blurring past like memories she couldn't grasp. Maya thought of Aaron, her husband, the man she had loved and lost, the man whose secrets had shattered her world. She had fought for the truth, but at what cost? That night, in a safe house, the group reviewed the aftermath of the leak. The media was ablaze with headlines exposing the hospital's corruption. Protests erupted. Investigations were launched. For a moment it seemed justice might prevail, but Maya knew better. The real battle was just beginning. Days later, Maya received a call from an unknown number. "Meet me. I have information you need." It was a man's voice, calm but insistent. Maya hesitated, then agreed. At a quiet cafe, Maya met the stranger. He introduced himself as David, a former insider who had grown tired of the lies. "I have proof." "That Aaron's death wasn't natural," David said. "It was murder." Maya's breath caught. David slid an envelope across the table. Inside were documents, security footage, and a detailed account of the events leading up to Aaron's death. "He was silent," David said, "because he wanted to come clean." Maya felt the weight of the truth settle on her shoulders. She wasn't just fighting for justice, she was fighting for Aaron's memory. But the danger was closer than ever. That night, a shadowy figure broke into the safe house. Maya barely escaped, but Lisa wasn't so lucky. The loss tore through Maya like a physical wound. She blamed herself for not protecting Lisa. But amid the grief, a fierce determination took hold. She would finish what they started, no matter the cost, finding the truth, finding herself. Maya sat alone in the quiet room, the weight of loss pressing down like a heavy fog. The note from Lisa, "Find the truth, forgive me," burned in her heart. Lisa's sacrifice had been the turning point, a painful but powerful reminder of what was at stake. The fight was far from over. The shadowy forces behind the hospital's corruption still lurked, but Maya was no longer the frightened woman who had received that first cruel video. She was stronger, sharper, driven by love, betrayal, and a fierce need for justice. Using the evidence David had given her, Maya worked with Samuel, the investigative journalist, to prepare a comprehensive exposé. The story was bigger than anyone had imagined. Secret experiments, illegal profits, silenced victims, and the murder of a man who had tried to do the right thing. The final piece was a live interview, where Maya would share her story with the world. On the day of the broadcast, Maya's hands trembled, but her voice was steady. She told the truth about her husband, the lies, the loss, and the dangerous path she'd walked. Viewers across the country listened, hearts breaking and hope stirring. After the broadcast, the fallout was immediate. Investigations deepened, arrests were made. The hospital's leaders faced justice. Maya's story inspired others to speak out, to fight back against corruption and lies. But the greatest victory was internal. Maya learned that sometimes losing everything was the only way to find who you really are. She forgave herself for mistakes, mourned deeply, and began to heal. Months later, Maya visited the old park, the place where her journey began. She stood beneath the ancient oak tree, sunlight filtering through the leaves. She thought of Lisa, Jonah, and even Aaron. They were all part of her story, a story of pain, survival, and transformation. As she walked away, Maya whispered to the wind, "Thank you for the truth, and for the strength to carry it." The end.